How you doing, everyone? And welcome to Direct Dreadnought Gundam and more on PS4. And this is the RGM-79GS Gym Command Space Type. And this has to be one of my favorite mobile suits from the One-Year War, second to only its production brother, the Gym Sniper 2. They are from the same production line, and that is the Gym Command line. So this is Robot Gundam Mass Production Type Year 79, G, Space Type, S for Space Type. Now, what makes the Command series so awesome is that it really is the progenitor, maybe not the grandfather of all Federation frontline mobile suits, as that is probably the original Gym, the RGM-79 basic type. But this is the Federation's first attempt to improve upon that design and to make a frontline mobile suit series whose primary purpose is to combat other mobile suits. And the lessons and technology that were built into the Command series followed through to every frontline mobile suit which was produced for the express purpose of taking on other mobile suits in combat from then on forward through the Nemo, the Jigen, and the Justa, all the way to 0096. So this is an impressive mobile suit. A lot of people don't realize, even though in the Gundam Universal Century timeline, the main conflict that kicked it all off between Earth and Side 3 Zeon was the One-Year War, that most of the One-Year War, the Federation did not have mobile suits. The first few months of the war were Zeon using its fleet and new mobile suit designs to attack the conventional forces and fleet of the Earth Federation, and the space battle went very well for Zeon, and even though the Earth Federation remained in space, they were very much on the back foot. And after the colony was dropped on Australia and the invasion of Earth was kicked off by Zeon, there reached a stalemate right about halfway through the One-Year War that lasted for several months, and that is because Zeon did not have the supply lines, production, or the population to complete the conquest of Earth, and this bought the Earth Federation a whole bunch of time, about 3 months, to do a crash course and develop their own mobile suit types to counteract the Zeon's mobile suits. Now, of course, we know that that was Project V, and that's V for victory, and the gun cannon new type, as opposed to the original prototype, the Gundam and the gun tank were produced, developed, and built during Project V, but that was concluded around mid-September of the One-Year War. The One-Year War actually conveniently started in January 1st and ended January 1st of the year 0080. So that helps with understanding the timeline of the One-Year War. So right about mid-September, the 9th month of the war, Amuro Ray got his Gundam, and the surviving gun cannon supported him along with the one and only gun tank, and for a couple of weeks battled the Zeon and took out many mobile suits, then participated in all of the key battles on Earth, and the Federation knew that their mobile suit was a winner and decided that they had to mass produce it. Now, in previous lore and gameplay episodes of Gundam Sunday for Direct Dreadnought Gundam and more, you may know that the Federation tried to mass produce the Gundam and made a limited run of ground Gundams, but this was, even though successful in battle, was not successful as far as mass production and was kind of a dead end, along with most of the other ground-based mobile suits in the month of October during the war. Even though the ones that were produced for ground continued the combat up until the end of the war, however, the Federation soon realized they needed a space-type mobile suit to defeat the Zeon in space, and so they created the RGM-79 Gym. The Gym was great, and it was roughly on par with the Zaku 2, but the Zeon were coming out with so many better and more powerful mobile suits and had their own new type pilots that were using Psycommu psychic technology to get the better of normal human pilots and were killing Federation mobile suits and pilots in the dozens. So the original GIM production line definitely had its limitations, and already by the month of October and November, the Federation realized that they had to improve on the original GIM and get them out there as soon as possible. So even though there were many variants on ground for Earth combat, the Federation developed a class of mobile suit that was roughly developed on the RGM-79 and the Cold District type that were taking in all the feedback from combat, taking in all the feedback from the pilots, and analyzing their star ace, Amuro Ray in the Gundam, analyzing his personal mobile suit computer, tactics, and battle history to get better improvements on the GIM, and that's where we get the RGM-79 GIM command line. The GIM command line includes the RGM-79GS, which is the command space type, the RGM-79G, which is the command ground type, and the RGM-79 SP2 Sniper, which is my favorite mobile suit from the 1-year war. The thinking was that 90% of the parts between these three mobile suits were compatible with each other to ease mass production and also take in all those characteristics and feedback that the Federation was getting from combat. But the space type had a lot of verniers, which are thrusters, to make it exceptionally quick and maneuverable in space, but still retaining a lot of firepower with mass-produced smaller versions of the beam rifle called the beam spray gun, beam sabers, and of course the signature large Federation shield. The GIM command ground type, of course, incorporated all the lessons learned from all the various mobile suits that were developed just for combat on Earth, but the GIM command ground type could be modified for space use, which made it very efficient for mass production. Additionally, the GIM Sniper 2 was available for use in both ground, colony, and of course space combat, was equipped with very sophisticated aiming optics and targeting computers, and equipped with a large beam rifle or large conventional ammunition sniper rifle for use of long-range support and sniping for the other command units. Additionally, as mentioned in my previous video about the gun cannon mass production type, it also shared a commonality of parts with the command line, making it very easy to maintain, very easy to build, and very easy to pilot for Federation pilots, and so it was just a winning line, a great line. The problem was that the supply lines and front in space was moving too quickly for these suits to be the mainstay mobile suit of the Federation. There were many pilots that were staying alive in their original GIM, and they just couldn't get their hands on these new mobile suits. So production was rushed on the command line, and it got its name because it usually wound up in the hands of commanders, ace pilots, and very seasoned veterans first, because there's only a limited amount of these suits to go around and only so many could be shipped to the front. However, it was not a commander-only suit type, as in the back lines of the Federation in areas that were closer to the production centers of Earth and the Moon got these suits as soon as possible because it was easier to ship them that close. So many rookies got their hands on this suit, and this suit probably saved a lot of rookie pilots' lives. Now, I can't mention the GIM Command Space Series without mentioning its numerous thrusters and verniers and its skill in the game, which is called Advanced Ombak. I mentioned before in some of my previous replay lore videos for Gundam that the reason why the Gundam universe focuses so much on large robots in space combat was because that space fighters simply weren't cutting the mustard, and the reason why mobile suits are better is this principle in Gundam called Ombak. Ombak is quite simply the use of thrusters and maneuvering engines in multiple directions, omnidirectional if you will, so that the mobile suit can use all of its thrusters for forward movement in a straight line, or rotate its legs or rotate at the waist and use its shoulder thrusters to quickly change directions and make very impressive maneuvers in space. either jutting triangles or sweeping arcs or sudden changes of momentum and direction. And this is possible because you can kick your legs out in a mobile suit, kick your arms out, or twist at the waist and get very, very sophisticated thrust in numerous directions simultaneously, where a space fighter really doesn't have that capability. Its engines are usually pointed backwards, even if it has nozzles that have multi-directional capability. It's just not possible to get the same range of motion and momentum. And this skill in Gundam Battle Operation 2 is called Advanced Ombak, available on very few mobile suits, which include the Gundam itself and the RGM-79GS command space type. And this, in game terms, enables you to use your thrusters and go into super cruise mode and then reduce your speed to normal mode so you can fire your weapons without the end boost animation in the game, which gives you a very fast mobile suit that can just jut around and change directions without the animation of the mobile suit stopping and regaining its momentum. And it looks very smooth and plays very smooth and makes you exceptionally hard to hit and gives you superior speed and mobility. And that's what this mobile suit in lore terms was all about. This mobile suit was probably awarded to just about every commander in the Battle of Abaku and saw a lot of use in the defense of the colony sides that were still loyal to Earth when the Zeon decided to make suicidal attacks in a last-ditch effort to change the direction of the war in December of the One-Year War. Every single ace, veteran, or really good pilot in the Federation forces spent a large portion of their career in the command series for the GIMs. I'm talking just about every non-Gundam pilot you can think of spent a large amount of time between the latter parts of Universal Century year 79 to year 81 in either the GIM Command Ground, GIM Command Space, or GIM Sniper 2. And that's really impressive. This mobile suit really saved the lives of a lot of pilots and was very effective. And what was so strange is that this mobile suit was pitted against some really fearsome adversaries and still came out on top using the principles of flexibility, mobility, decent defense, and a superior arsenal of weapons, along with, of course, ease of manufacture, ease of maintenance, and very easy for pilots to learn to fly. On top of that, the Command Series had a very sophisticated targeting and evasion computer that used data directly from the Gundam to give them a higher hit probability and survival rate. And on top of all of that, this mobile suit also had an additional software package to help lead, plan, and improve the tactics of other mobile suits in their squads under their command. So it was a very impressive electronic and software suite which was included in these mobile suits. And then the GIM Sniper 2 had even more sophisticated optics on top of that. So it was a terrific mobile suit line. It was produced in December and only saw combat in the last couple weeks of the war, but it was still a war-winning machine. All three of the mobile suits that were attributed to this line. But it goes even further than that. After the war, in the last week of the war, the design was finalized for the GIM Kai, which you've seen many times on this channel and you will see much more of because I am pretty good in the GIM Kai. They decided to bring the three mobile suits back into one easily mass-produced mobile suit line because the Zeon were vanquished and now they needed a mobile suit that had even more commonality and ease of maintenance and could be mass-produced to defend the entire Earth sphere, and that was the GIM Kai. The GIM Kai took all the great lessons from the Command series, but sacrificed a little bit of the Command space type's mobility, a little bit of the versatility of the ground type, and a little bit of the long-range firepower and aiming of the sniper type, and decided to make the GIM Kai, which was pretty darn fast, pretty darn armored, and had access to the entire range of Federation weapons that were available for use for the Gym line. And that was a terrific mobile suit that continued to serve until 0083-0084 calendar year of the Universal Century. And from the Gym Kai line, we got the Gym Custom. The Gym Custom was later turned into the Gym Quell, and the Gym Quell was the original mobile suit for the dictatorial authoritarian section of the Earth Federation called the Titans. That sparked a civil war, and the Titans quickly started using very, very powerful mobile suits that were designed by Anaheim Electronics, which were secretly funding all sides of the various conflicts in the Universal Century timeline, and we're getting more and more extreme and versatile suits. Meanwhile, the Earth Federation decided to go back and make the Gym 2 and Gym 3 line, which was based on the original Gym, and decided to overload the Gym with firepower and weaponry, and it was a paper tiger, and it really didn't fare well and was quickly outclassed by just about every other type of mobile suit that was out there during the Grips conflict, which is the civil war between the normal Earth Federation, the Titans, and survivors of Zeon who decided to side with the normal Federation after the 1-year war. That's the Grips conflict. So the AUG, which is the quote-unquote good guys, the anti-Earth Union group, decided to take the Gym Command type, the Gym Sniper 2 and Gym Command Space type specifically, and design a new mobile suit for the Federation pilots that were on their side against the tyrannical actions of the Federation Titans, and design the Nemo, which is just a really good, even better high-tech version of the Gym Command series, using the generator and thrusters of the Gym Sniper 2, a lot of the maneuverability in space of the Gym Command Space type, with better armor, better weaponry, and the latest, greatest technology. And it was a war-winning machine. Even though it wasn't as fancy or as high-tech or rare as the Gundam Mark II or some of the other mobile suits in the Grips conflict, it was a solid mobile suit that Federation pilots used. And the only mobile suit, in fact, that after the Grips conflict, that the Federation decided to take back into its ranks and used it after the Grips conflict. And it's from the Nemo that the post-Grips conflict Federation based its new mobile suit, the Jagan, on. And from the Jagan came, of course, the Jesta, which is loosely based on the Gym Custom from the Kai series. So this really is the Federation mobile suit that all frontline Fedi mobile suits are based on, and it's a great mobile suit, a great design, and it doesn't look like it does much on paper when compared to some of the other mobile suits you see in the Universal Century timeline, or even these two replays you're watching now. It really doesn't look like it should do much. And I was awarded the level 4 Gym Command Space type in a loot drop for free, and I decided to give it the level 4 Bullpup, which the Federation Bullpup is usable on both the Kai and this mobile suit. And even though it isn't as powerful as the Gundam, or it doesn't have Psycommu technology like the Psycommu Zaku, or as big and bulky and vicious as the DOMs that you are seeing in these replays, it is still a solid mobile suit, very quick, very tactical, very evasive, and still puts out a lot of firepower with its level 4 Bullpup, securing the kills and delivering constant pressure against my enemies. And it was a lot of fun to fly. I really like this mobile suit, and I can't wait till I take my GM Sniper 2 into space as soon as I purchase it in-game with the in-game currency called DP. But that's about it on the RGM-79GS Gym Command Space type. A fantastic mobile suit with a lot of great lore and a really great history as far as the Federation production line of grunt mechs. It's a lot of fun to play in game. It's a lot of fun to watch on the big screen. And of course, you know, I have this model in my personal collection of high-grade Bandai Gundam Gunpla models. So it's very awesome. Very big fan of this mobile suit. Well, that's it from me for now. And I'll see you soon in Sinley Bay.